Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So you can tell by the title, I'll be doing another wrestling video. Tonight I'll be doing my reaction to not a reaction. I'm going to be doing my review, my thoughts and review on Clash, the WWE Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland. It aired earlier this morning, but I didn't watch it until just now. I just finished watching it now. I was hanging out with some friends of mine, and I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and yeah. Um, Now usually I would also do like my predictions on on the matches and what's gonna happen during the PLE, but I did not do it because I was too tired. So yeah, and I didn't want to do it the the day of the PLE. So yeah, I was like, I just won't do a prediction for this, for Clash at the Castle. But I will say this: the stuff that did happen, well, I'm gonna be honest. The predictions that I already had, that I was definitely surprised by one. The other ones I wasn't that surprised about. Oh well, there was one I was surprised about. The rest I was not surprised. Uh, But yeah, overall, Clash of the Castle was a fun show. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun show. And yeah, I'm gonna do like the usual. Gonna go through each match in the order of the way it went. Give my thoughts on the match. Talk about any memorable moments or spots if there were any. Um, and then I'll talk about like the ending of the match. And yeah. So without further ado, let's get to the video. So Clash at the Castle started off hot with the I Quit match. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for Cody's Universal Championship. This was a this was a hot way to start to start Clash at the Castle, and there was no like wrestling holds to begin the match, no chain wrestling. They instantly start throwing hands and brawling, which basically is necessary for a match like this. It's like if you're gonna be doing like an I Quit match, there's no need like instantly start brawling. There's no reason to do any chain wrestling and all that. But yeah, the Cody and AJ match, that was a fun match and a brutal match too. But it was a really good match. And yeah, they brawled in the ring, out of the ring, through the crowd, to the back. There was even some blood. Both of them ended up getting like busted open in the match. Cody first and then AJ towards the end, which I didn't expect. Both men started bleeding, much less one of them to start bleeding. I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, blood, bleeding, getting busted open. I was like, okay. Especially, I didn't expect that, especially since WWE is still PG. They're still in their They're still doing PG. So yeah, that's not what I expected. But yeah, again, it was brutal. Cody took a beating, took a beating from AJ, and Cody gave it back to AJ too. But yeah, it would. But yeah, some memorable moments. Well, of course, is like kendo stick shots, chair shots. AJ using the referee's belt to whip Cody after handcuffing him. That was crazy. And then he grabbed that a black like velvet bag. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought it was gonna be thumbtacks, and I was about to say, oh, is he got thumbtacks? Especially the way that the commentators were selling it. They're making it seem like it was thumbtacks. So I was like, also we doing some McFoley up in here. We're getting thumbtacks now. But uh, got once he pulled it out of the bag, it was actually handcuffs and a chain, which I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of a little disappointed, to be honest. I kind of was a little disappointed, even though the handcuffs was definitely a key part of the match, especially towards the end. I Part of me was kind of hoping that it was going to be thumbtacks, just so that it would amp up the match even more than it already was. But yeah, and then I love that they had Cody's mom involved. Cody's mom, going at it with AJ, then slapping him multiple times, and then AJ was actually contemplating on swinging a steel chair at Cody's mom. I was like, Cody, I was really like, Cody, if that don't wake you up and make you want to destroy this man, I don't know what will. But yeah, Cody eventually got the best of AJ, handcuffed him, and started beating them down. And started beating them down um with the chair. And then he grabbed steel steps and threw it into the ring, and he was about to use it onto AJ, while AJ was still handcuffed, but at a corner. And then AJ said, "I quit." Didn't stop Cody though, because Cody looked dead as mama, and then proceeded to hit AJ with the steps. Cody is still the universal champion. I knew he was still gonna retain. I knew that he was still gonna be champion. I just didn't know how he was gonna make AJ say I quit. Yeah, again, it was a fun and a very brutal match, and yeah, it was a very very good way to start Clash at the Castle. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next match, which was the triple threat match for the women's tag team championships. The champions Bianca and Jade going against the team of Zoe and Shayna and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I believe Isla and Albert still go by their team name, which was I think Unholy Trinity or something like that. Um, but but yeah, to be honest, I thought they was gonna have Bianca and Jade win, but I was completely shocked that Isla and Alba won. I'm glad that they did win and they had that moment in the home country, in Scotland. I'm happy for them. I'm very happy for them. Congrats for them. Like that moment. And to be honest, they were good. They were really good. NXT Women's Champion, NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. So I hope that they will book them good. As the Women's Tag Team Champion, as the Women's Tag Team Champions on the main roster. But I just didn't expect Bianca and Jade's reigns to be this short. I thought it was gonna be like a little bit longer, maybe last until like SummerSlam. But the match overall, it was a solid match. Definitely had its messy moments, but not until the match was fine. And then once Jade, got a heart tag, got her hot tag from Bianca. That's when it got a little messy. A little messy, miscommunications. Yeah. Um, Jade tried to do like a springboard crossbody off the rope like she did um, when they fought the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash. But yeah, Jade lost her footing, which to be honest, it's not that. I mean, granted, it's like not. Everyone has messed up every now and then, and also Jade's still pretty new, so it is what it is. She was still able to save herself a little bit. Um, and still continue on with her hot tag. She lost a little bit of momentum, but not that momentum, like not that much momentum, yeah, that was yeah. It just got a little clunky, a little messy. From that, and then also a confusing moment, like when Jade was in the Coquita Clutch, which was Shayna's like finisher, her submission finisher, and then the commentators, and it did kind of look like she was tapping out at first, and even the commentators was like, wait, did Jade just tap out? Like it looked like she just tapped out. Um, so even the commentators was like, wait. But yeah, again, other than that, the match was a pretty solid match. Um, Again, I'm so happy, and I'm so happy for Isla and Albert. They definitely deserve the moment because them two is a very good tag team. I love their characters. They are very talented, and hold on. Sorry about that. What was I at? Oh yeah. I'm happy for Isla Dawn and Alpha. They deserve the moment. They are very talented women. And yeah, I'm happy that they got their moment. at the big stage, at a big stage, and at home country, and yeah. Now I wonder what's next for Bianca and Jade. Are they gonna continue as a tag team, or are they gonna go their separate ways? Like I don't know what's gonna happen then, but we'll find out like as time goes on. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next match, which was the Intercontinental Championship match. The champion Sami Zayn going against Chad Gable, who was accompanied by Maxine Dupree and Otis. This was a great match. This was a great match. I definitely enjoyed it. Like it started off slow, and then started to build up more and more. Chad Gable being like a vicious heel. Um, Picking apart Sami Zayn, going after like his injured arm, well shoulder arm, like around that area, and then he also goes after like his leg, um, for the ankle lock. So yeah, and then of course Sami being like the baby face, who would never back down, who would never quit. And yeah, it was just a really good match. Both of them have real good chemistry, and the storytelling of Chad Gable and Alpha Academy is such a good storyline. And yeah, that's kind of basically the bigger picture, to be honest. The whole storyline between Chad Gable and Alpha Academy, if we're gonna be honest, because this match is kind of what it did. It basically kind of like continued on the storyline of Chad Gable and Alpha Academy. Um, and it showed in the final moments of the match, because the final moments of the match, Chad Gable had a plan, and he wanted Maxine to, and the plan was like he was gonna, give Maxine Dupree the championship, um, have Sammy like lean on the ropes, um, and then have himself distract the referee, so that Maxine can clock Sammy with the belt. But Maxine stopped last minute, and then Chad Gable told her to come up onto the apron, started yelling and berating her. And then Sammy almost took out Maxine when he tried to do the hula kick onto Chad, but he moved out of the way, and then Maxine almost got taken out again, but then she eventually got down the apron. But that distraction gave Gable an opportunity to hit like his kind of like his German suplex finisher like from the corner. Um, and then he ended up getting near fall, and then he went out of the ring, started berating and yelling, and pointing his finger in Maxine's face. Otis eventually had enough, and then got in between them, and then Otis, was in Chad's face, and Chad didn't have that same energy for Otis. Um, but then Sammy inadvertently took out Otis, and then Chad Gable took out Sammy and Otis at the same time with a moonsault, and then they went back and forth again, um, and then they eventually went back out at ringside, and then and Sammy was put in the ankle lock by Gable, but Sammy was able to get out of it, and as he reversed it, he ended up having Gable run into Maxine, who was injured, who was wearing a boot because she was injured, and Gable ended up chop blocking Maxine by accident, and Otis looked like he was about to put hands on Gable, but then Gable was pleading his case, went back in the ring, told Otis to attack Sammy. So he distracted the referee again so that Otis can do it. Otis didn't do it last minute. He got stopped by Maxine when Maxine called his name. So then Otis picked up Maxine and carried her to the back, and both of them left Gable on his own. And when Gable was distracted by that, Sammy took advantage of that, hit the haluva kick, and got the 1-2-3, and Sammy is still the champion. Now I kind of figured that Sammy was gonna still be champion. Like I always said, I feel like him and Cody are gonna have a lengthy reign, not as long as Gunther's reign, and definitely not as long as Roman's reign, but it's still gonna be like a decent length of a reign. So yeah, and Chad Gable ended up just in the middle of the ring on his knees, looking pissed. So yeah, the storyline of like Chad Gable and Academy is going to continue, and then yeah, I don't know what's going to be next for Sami Zayn, but I am definitely intrigued. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next match, which was the women's championship match. Bailey defending it against Piper Nivens. This was an okay match. And this was probably, I hate to say this, it was probably the worst match of of Clash of the Castle. It wasn't a bad match at all. It wasn't a bad match at all, but compared to the other matches, it didn't it didn't do as well. I'll say that. Like it was still an okay match. There was a couple weird spots. Um, well, one in particular, when Chelsea got herself involved pretty early in the match, and then by her slapping Bailey, but I saw that slap, she barely slapped Bailey's, like the slap barely touched her, so it was given like she barely touched her, and then they just added a sound effect. So I was like, so that looked off to me. And then yeah, there was a couple more like off moments in the match. So yeah, it was it was definitely which I hate saying that because we all know Bailey can go. We all know Bailey can go in a match, and we know that Piper Niven can go in a match too, if given the opportunity. But yeah, this was again just an okay match. Nothing else memorable happened except maybe like the avalanche Bailey to belly and the near fall that Piper Niven had after hitting like um, one of her finishers on Bailey. Um, and then yeah, then when Chelsea ran back to the ring with a damn luchador mask disguise, which I was like, which was ridiculous, but it also fitted her character, so I wasn't that mad about it. But yeah, Bailey was able to hit like it was like the crucifix move after Niven countered Bailey's second attempt on the rose plant, and then yeah, excuse me, Bailey ended up pinning Piper Nivens, and yeah, Bailey's still the champion. So yeah, I kind of figured that Bailey was going to retain. I'm pretty sure that they're going to have Bailey be champion until SummerSlam, and then they're going to have Nia beat Bailey. I see that happening. But yeah, again, it was an okay match, and yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the main event, which was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and and this was a good match. This was a good match. It definitely had its memorable moments. One of them was a scary moment that happened early on in the match when Damian was trying to do like one of his patented like flying moves when he um like springboards like over the second the over the middle rope, and then does a flip. While he was doing that, his right ankle got caught, and that landing looked scary, and you could tell that looked scary because Drew broke character a little bit for a second there, because he looked concerned for a second. So he broke character for a second. But yeah, like them two was going back and forth, hitting each other with their like big moves, and yeah, again it was a pretty good match, and yeah, the ending of the match, um, the referee got taken out, which I was like, oh lord, here we go, and then Drew ended up hitting um, Damien with the Claymore kick for the second time because Damien kicked out the first time. Um, but the referee was taken out, and then another referee came out instantly. I knew it was CM Punk. I saw how the hair was styled. I saw how the hair was styled. I was like, that's CM Punk. I instantly knew that was CM Punk. Um, so yeah, CM Punk posed as like a referee, counted 1, 2, and then stopped counting, and then Drew looked, and then they had the camera at a different angle. It was CM Punk. Surprise, surprise. Um, and then Drew got put his hands on Punk, like he grabbed him and put him in the corner, and then CM Punk hit Drew low, and then Priest hit Dame, and then Damien hit Drew with the South of Heaven chokeslam, his finisher for the second time because Drew kicked out of it the first time, and yeah, Drew is not Drew. Damien still champion. Was I surprised? No. I knew that CM Punk was gonna. I knew that CM Punk was gonna get involved, and he was gonna cost Drew the match and the championship. I just didn't know how. Um, but yeah. Yeah. Again, I knew CM Punk was gonna get involved. And yeah, I feel like they're gonna have Damian be champion until SummerSlam, and then they're gonna have Gunther beat Damien, like how I feel about like Bailey, and they're gonna have Nia beat Bailey for the championship. That's how I feel. Even though I kind of hate that, because I love Damian Priest, um, and and of course he deserves to be champion, and I'm glad he's champion. But yeah, I feel like it's SummerSlam they're gonna have Gunther beat him. But yeah, and then after like the PLE officially ended, Drew went ballistic. Drew went ballistic. He went crazy. He went crazy, cursing at the ref, cursing and yelling at Corey Graves, grabbing on them, and then he was ranting towards Wade Barrett about it. So yeah, CM Punk, I hope you're prepared. On Monday, and yeah, basically every Monday night, because we all know Drew's gonna try and come after you every time you are gonna be on Raw. But yeah, that was last match, and yeah, again I really enjoyed Clash at the Castle. It was a really good pay per view. It was a good PLE, and yeah, those are so yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Comment down below on your thoughts Clash at the Castle. Did you like it? Or did you enjoy it, or did you not enjoy it? Tell me down below in the comments. And what was your favorite match? And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification button. I'll see you next time. Bye.